And we are officially live now.
Yeah, do it like Snape though. Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Shoot the glass. Oh, wrong Snape. Shit.
Page 394.
I want to say hello, Jen. The Dementors. Hello, anybody else in here. I want to point out that I tried to move the chat, and at this point, it's right below Alex. I'm hoping that with the you can. I think the chat itself looks better because it's got the black background. It's not in front of our face. The only problem is the usernames may be cut off a little bit, which I do apologize about that. The Nerditude Harry Potter faces. I know. I did that. So basically, last night I went on this ADD tangent of I can't sleep, and I just started working, and I did all in all I think like 67 refaces of Harry Potter's.
Holy shit!
I created the song that everybody heard in the intro I made last night, and I put it all together. And then this morning I had to do a little bit of fine tuning because I had to be awake to go be an adult and do things, and I didn't even get a coffee. Like, I didn't have any ice.
Blasphemy.
I didn't have any ice, and my brain was like, well, fuck it. I just don't want to do this anymore. Like life. I was
anxiety.
Yeah, I was talking about I didn't want to do life anymore, and that kept me going. And so I did all this. Like, I went into Sam's Club, which we mostly do pickup orders for a goddamn reason. But I went into Sam's Club, and it's like, wasn't that bad because we have the Plus membership. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got better hours, free shipping, one hand job a month. And so I got to, it was like 8 to 10 a.m. is early shopping for Plus members or business members, which doesn't equate to shit because I feel like every senior citizen in my fucking neighborhood has the Plus membership.
They're all there.
Or maybe it's just early hours for people that may die sooner. I don't know. But it's fucking annoying because it's nothing but the elderly, and they like to just waddle in front of you and completely lose focus and just kind of exist. Like, they're not really, they're moving, but not so much. And it's want to blackjack them right in the back of the fucking head. And
Matt's just going to
just like, I need that, ma'am. I need that, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Here, let me help you. Just dump everything in the cart.
Steph gets angry because when we're at Costco and I'm pushing the cart, she and old people walk in front of me, I don't slow down, and she has to grab the cart, and I'm like, I was this close.
Okay, but have you taken out an elderly though? Like, I think you should maybe rethink the stance. If one of the grandpas gets knocked over because he's like, I fought in the goddamn war, I'm not moving, and you're like, I'm not moving because fuck you, and then you will eventually hit somebody. Like, not old people don't have good reflexes, and you're playing chicken with them with grocery carts.
Yeah, you're gonna end up hitting someone like Mr. Glass. That's just
right. It's just literally turns into Jello when he hits the ground, just gelatinous nothingness, because you had to play chicken with the elderly. That sounds like a Japanese game show.
Chicken with the elderly.
Yeah, chicken with the elderly. Guy Ledouche.
Oh, man.
We're here for a reason. What's that reason?
Are. So, we are reviewing. We're doing a two-parter. We are reviewing the entire Harry Potter.
That's a different set of movies on a different channel.
It's been a
Harry
long week
Cooter
for me. The entire Harry Potter franchise. Well, not franchise. The main films.
You mean not we're not doing the Fantastic Beasts and Dumbledore sexuality. So those are not being reviewed tonight.
But yeah, we're gonna do this in two parts. So the first, this whole month, it's gonna be the 2 episodes, just so you guys know.
Well, no, there will be a 3 episode, or 3rd episode, I believe, right? Are we off next week and the last week, or are we doing a threesome the end of the month?
I thought we're off next week, and then we're doing the next one.
Okay, yeah, we still have to choose movies, no?
We do for the last episode.
Yeah, so
this month.
Yeah, Lewis. So we're doing the first 4 today. Next week off because Lewis can only be on the next week's, and I didn't really want, I didn't want us to be like, hey, let's go with RoboCop 4. You know what I mean? Like in the middle, like it's just like let's the Canadian productions.
Do it.
So this will be like we like to do the retrospective reviews. This is gonna be a bit weird for you guys because this episode we're gonna be talking about 4 movies, and the next episode is gonna be the same. So for today, we're reviewing Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I'm not going to say Harry Potter before you start.
Sorcerer's Stone?
Chamber of Secrets.
The Sorcerer's Stone.
Did I say?
Yeah, you threw me off. You said Philosopher's.
I'm like, did I watch the wrong fucking movies?
Sorry,
But
no,
We're reviewing Harry Potter and the Velociraptor Stone.
Sorry, that's the UK one.
Harry Potter and
But it
Hermione.
is known as the Philosopher's Stone, though.
It's like, whoa, what happened here? So,
in some areas.
I don't like how long it took these movies, because, like, I'm just thinking in a whole, like, if you watch these movies backwards, it's got to be a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
Make any fucking sense.
Think about it, right? Literally, if you watch them backwards, Harry Potter's the bad guy. He murders. Well, we'll go into that, but if you think about it, like it's the same story, but Voldemort's end.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Holy shit!
it's a.
I gotta watch them backwards now.
A palindrome, is that what they call it?
Jen's gonna be like, "You want to watch them backwards? Are you fucking stupid?" I'm like, "Well, kind of, but that's not the point."
Yeah, sorry. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, and Goblet of Fire.
Good old goblet.
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire, Harry? He fucking tackles him, man. It's hilarious.
The funny thing is, in the book, it specifically says, like, Dumbledore asked very gently, Harry,
put your name in there, boy.
It does.
If the other actor was still alive, I think that's probably how they would have done it. Had the previous Dumbledore not pass away, it probably would have been.
I like the second Dumbledore. He brings spunk to the role.
He does. He does add a bit of flair.
Like, the first Dumbledore is great, right? But every time you see him, if he's moving, he's just...
Well, the first Dumbledore is like...
Literally,
he was dying.
Harry, I'm dying.
What's a dumb idea? Fuck you. I think it's a cool... I actually kind of want to do it, because they are... It's the same movie, just Voldemort's the good guy.
That's true.
I mean, he is still attacking a baby. Or is the baby attacking him in the beginning? Damn.
So since we're doing 4 movies,
What's up, Crash?
I'm not going to break down the numbers for all of them. Everyone knows that Harry Potter made a lot of money.
Millions upon millions.
As far as the dates, though, because they did kind of go almost back to back. So the first movie came out in 2001. Second movie came out in 2002. Prisoner of Azkaban was 2004. And the Goblet of Fire was 2005.
Holy shit. So they did the Marvel thing where they just kept fucking filming.
Well, they had to because the kids were getting...
Yeah.
Like, they're basically like, we've got 4 years before these bitches hit puberty. And then they hit puberty, and it's weird. Like, they're like, Ron's get ripped, Harry's ripped, like, out of... And then, you know, you have... And by the way, the whole... Poor... What's her name in real life? Hermione. Like... I bet you she wishes as she got older, she just became butt-ass ugly. Like, it probably would have been easier for her in life to, like, once she was fully matured, she was like, Gorf. And she would have been much happier, because she would have made her money and didn't have to deal with the bullshit perversion around her. For, literally at this point, the perversion that's lasted since 2000, so 2 fucking decades, and they still are perverse over her. Fabian right now, thinking about her, is doing weird things.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to mention, so the first 2 movies, which are a bit lighter, were directed by Chris Columbus.
I will argue the first movie, the second is not as light as I had remembered it being when I initially watched it. And I bring it back to the Sam Raimi horror movie angles and shit like that.
Yeah, the second one starts to wane, but I mean, once you get to Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban, you can tell that Chris is no longer directing, and that's where the books start to kind of grow up with the reader.
Well, Prisoner of Azkaban, in a lot of respects, compared to everything but the final 2 movies, is kind of a boring movie in regards to little action happens. It is much more of an informational kind of detective movie than like compared to number 2 and with the fantastical action. There's a little bit, but it's really not. It's probably the slowest regarding action of the series. Baby and
all
Ron
the prisoners'
Weasley. He was in
action-
love with her.
I'm in love with him too. So,
Weasley?
but all of the action in Prisoner was these giant crescendos of like they had to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, how can you not love fucking Gary Oldman in anything that guy does? By the way,
Yeah, that's true.
like literally, some of my favorite movies. The Professional, Fifth Element. I mean, Sirius is a great character. We haven't even shouted out Snape yet, by the way, which once again, and I've said this, is the most badass character in the entire franchise.
Agree.
Well,
I love Snape.
I do want to mention
If you're still alive.
Chris Columbus again because he's directed or written or even produced a lot of movies we like. So he was a writer on The Goonies. He was a writer on Gremlins. He directed
What about
Adventures
two?
in Babysitting. Directed Home Alone.
I
Home
love
Alone
Adventures
2,
in Babysitting, dude.
Miss Doubtfire.
Miss-
Bicentennial Man.
Mrs. Doubtfire, god damn it.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mention this.
Oh, he's gonna do a Gremlins 3.
He was a writer
Really?
for Christmas with the Cranks.
Ooh, I like that movie too. I didn't like it before Jen was like, come on, it's one of my favorites. And I'm like, fucking looks stupid. And we watched it and I really like it.
He was also a producer on Jingle All the Way.
Sorry, he was the
Nice.
producer for. He's gonna be the producer for Gremlins 3. Sorry.
So did he have no involvement in Gremlins 2? Because I love Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2 was really good. I think Gremlins 2 is very underrated.
I in some ways, I guess maybe because it's in like more of a city landscape where we were city kids. Maybe that's it. But like, I've always gravitated much more towards Gremlins 2. Also, Gremlins 2 is goofier than Gremlins 1. Like, Gremlins 1 has scenes of like, Jesus, what the fuck? Like, Gremlins 2 is more like, hey, we're in the camera guy positions and shit like that, you know?
So he's got some pre-production stuff.
I didn't say...
Goonies 2 and Goonies 3.
Well, how are you going to do that?
I'm sorry. Goonies 2 and Gremlins 3.
Fucking...
He's the writer of them.
Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
What's wrong with the youth today?
Also, he did Christmas Chronicles Part 2, which nobody liked.
I don't remember how I thought we said it was okay, just not as good as the
It
first.
was okay, but I don't think nobody loved it.
Jen says, "See, I don't always have." So okay, so Jen said she's right, but like she says that, but then she goes to bed and leaves fucking Mamma Mia on, and I'm forced to, as she's asleep, because I'm in my zone.
Matthew at his computer. Mamma Mia.
No, I'm hearing fucking James Bond brutalize ABBA, and I'm hearing fucking Stellan Skarsgård brutalize ABBA, and then I'm hearing Colin Firth, and it's just like, I love these guys. Can we not do this? Can we not destroy them? And then you've even got what's his face, dude from Preacher in the movie. He's her husband or her fiance. The only one who knows how to fucking sing in the whole thing is Bette Midler, and the girl a little bit, I guess. But yeah, she does that shit all the time. That's how I got roped into watching Devil Wears Prada, because she fucking left it on, and I'm over here working and like, huh. You know me. I love me some Stanley Tucci. I mean, you can't go wrong with Stanley Tucci.
Devil Wears Prada is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It is a good movie, and I went into that movie like, this movie's dumb. And then after watching, I was like, this is a pretty good movie.
I mean, the thing about it is just like, Midler really is the villain in that movie. But I just feel like the end scene where she's driving away and she smiles doesn't really make her so much of a villain. Like, yeah, she's just a shrewd bitch because that's what she has to be to survive. And it's like she literally finagled a way to not get fired and fucked over people, sure, but she's once again surviving. So it's like...
Oh, that's true. She almost got fired in that movie. That's right.
So she knew she was on the chopping block, was ahead of everybody, sacrificed Stanley Tucci's role, fucked him over hardcore, sure, but she's still top. And it's like, the fact that she's happy that Anne Hathaway is not tied to her and is doing her own thing and is being successful in that realm, by that little smile you get at the end, proves that she's not a villain. She's just doing what she's got to do. What's Fabian saying? You should do guilty pleasure movie podcast episode, something you aren't proud to say you enjoy. Well, that would clearly, for me, I suppose, be McCall's Navy. What about you guys?
Something we're not...
Like a movie that you love, but you know is just, I'm assuming, like, just shit.
Super Mario Brothers.
Now, are we talking? Do we have to watch the YouTube re-edit of it on
They're both bad.
archive.org?
But you could just watch the regular one.
Okay.
My movie that I absolutely love that makes my wife cringe is The Love Guru.
Oh, I love that
good
fucking movie.
That's a really good movie.
Nourishna Hagate.
The other one is Guru. The movie that's just called Guru. Remember that one?
Guru, yep.
With the song Hori Hori, like the one they were singing.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie because I
it's
almost
fucking
watched
hilarious.
it because it looks even
funny.
the covers are familiar.
Yeah, it's got Marissa Tomei. In
Wait,
it.
also Fabian says no horror or gory movies, so that eliminates like
Fabian.
75% of the goddamn library.
So
For
I can't
me-
do Leprechaun.
I'm still in
me, it would be Waterworld or The Postman.
it. Can we? I would say please do Post or Waterworld, so I don't have to sit through the Postman. That's just my suggestion. It's like 3 hours long of fucking nothing.
You got fucking this guy with his name is Ford Lincoln Mercury.
The Postman is literally
What?
like it's the same experience as
'Cause that's
watching
where
The
he
Road.
lives. He lives at a car shop, and his name is Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Have you seen The Road?
Yes,
Yeah, I've
I
seen The
fucking
Road.
can't watch that movie.
Same feeling
again.
walking away from The Postman, just emptiness.
The Road would be my wife's guilty pleasure movie because no one ever wants to watch it.
I really like
Sweetie,
the
what's your
book.
guilty pleasure movie?
I don't.
I've
the
watched
book
it
is
once.
good.
You know
so is the
nobody
movie,
likes.
but it's like
You love.
it's like, do I want to ruin the rest of my afternoon?
Yeah. Crash,
sure.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
guilty pleasure movie. What's yours, Crash? Tell me that shit.
I
Boy.
think another one would probably be one of those Corey Feldman movies or Corey Haim movies
Ooh.
that has the Prayer of the Roller Boy one.
So, you see, I think
Yeah,
McCall's Navy, I guess, is one, but like, I don't know if it's truly bad enough to be one of those. Like, you guys haven't seen it in a long time, so your opinions mean nothing.
You are,
'Cause
you are,
we've-
like,
I don't think I've watched the
trying
whole
We've-
thing. If I did,
we've
so
all-
hard to get us to
We've
watch this.
all
fucking movie.
watched movies that we like hated or loved and have the reverse effect nowadays.
So I
All I'm
think
saying is
Giovanni-
I don't think it's going to be as terrible. I don't know if it's like, sure, it's guilty pleasure, but it's not like, Jesus, you like this fucking movie?
I don't know if Giovanni had brought this up to me or maybe I don't know. I would like to do an episode where we all pick a movie we like almost like
Yeah.
in Cal's Navy, that we know the others are gonna fucking
Ooh.
hate. And I
Okay.
think what will make the episode is you guys ripping on the movie that's not yours.
But it could be any movie you want.
Any
Okay.
movie, any
Oh,
genre.
what if the person who chose the movie has to sit out until the end?
Oh, that would
Can't
be
say
so
a
hard.
fucking thing
That would be
until
so
until
brutal.
everybody else is done. Dude, that would be awesome.
I like that actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You got to sit there and take it. I got a mute button. I fuck up all the time, and I'm muted half the time anyways. So
Yeah, and your guys' the reviews will be like, this is what I hated about the movie. It'd be like, oh no, Matt, this is why the movie you chose fucking sucks.
yeah, I think that's the whole thing. Is like you got to be brutal. Like this is why your taste in movies is terrible, because this movie is complete shit for this reason, this reason, and this reason. I think Alex may fare the worst on that though if he goes for like a Corey's movie.
Oh no, I could pick some horror movies that you guys would just want to.
Okay, so I guess we have the no horror, no gore. If we hit those limits, I guess I would have to go McCall's Navy, unless The Pest. But we all like The Pest, don't we?
I like The Pest. That's a good movie.
Yeah, so that's not
But
a hard
that's the
sell to
problem is
anybody.
all of us like a pocket of movies that people think are fucking stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a Schwarzenegger movie that's a bit cringe. The Sixth Day.
The Sixth Day is pretty whack.
That one's cheesy as
Yeah.
fuck. Like that was his last like theater movie, and it was like no budget. It did have Michael Rooker in it though, but that's when he was still like a B movie actor, pre Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to plan it out, but I think it'd be cool to do that and a guilty pleasures episode.
Yeah.
I want to do
It
the
could be-
idea of the lockout. That's what we'll call it, the lockout episode.
The Lockout.
we'll treat it like individual roasts of the movie, and then the person being roasted gets to say something at the end. We're gonna go full Office on this.
I would also like
It'll end the
to. I
same
know
way.
we're talking about Harry Potter, but you fuckers know how we run the show. I would
It's our
also
show.
like to sometime do a curated episode of like one of you guys chooses both the movies we review, and we do that for like 4 episodes.
I'm down with that. We should start
That's a good
that.
one.
We should start
Okay.
that soon.
And I mean, we all like enough genres that, like, for me, like, I won't pick 2 horror movies. Like, I'll pick a horror movie I like and a different genre that I like something different, like mix it up. Matt, you can't put Macau's Navy and Macau's Navy. It has to be 2 different.
I would go Macau's Navy if I was really trying to torture you
And
guys.
Devil Wears Prada.
No, we all like that movie. Let's be real. It's a good movie. Fuck. What would I do? See, I don't know, man. Like, the problem is we all do have a pretty wide gap in our flavors, and we're a pretty wide spectrum. So it's like that's why I think like even in movies like Macau's Navy, you guys are going to enjoy, I think, more than you think you will. And
I already got my 2. If we're gonna do this,
What are your
curated
2?
episode. The Guyver. We're gonna watch The Guyver
Okay.
and Street Fighter.
The Van Damme one.
Yes.
So the Guyver, we would have to find a way to get everybody a copy.
It's called the
Yeah, I can do
shared
that.
folder, fool.
I could do
Yeah, I
that.
know.
What would be your 2, Alex?
I think one would be Dogma.
Really?
That's a
I
good
love
one,
that
though.
fucking movie.
Yeah, it's a really good one.
I really do love Dogma.
Yeah, and I gotta go up and see if that YouTube link's been pulled or not.
To be honest, one of my 2 would probably be Midsommar, and then something not horror.
I've not seen that. I keep seeing it pop up in my feed.
The only thing
but I
about that
don't
is we did review Midsommar, did we not?
no.
No, we didn't.
No.
Really?
I think you guys did. You guys review Hereditary? I think it was
Nope.
Hereditary.
No, we talked about them both a bunch.
Oh, okay. When they were first out on digital, I think we were just
Okay.
constantly gabbing it. Okay. Sorry, Alex, go on.
No, but I can only think of one right now. But Dogma is one of them. I don't know. Something about that. I just love the whole fucking thing about the ideology and everything, how it goes.
For Alex, it would be Dogma and The Mask.
Dogma is
Oh,
a
no.
good movie. I haven't
Like
seen
The Mask.
Dogma in so long, but I remember really liking
It's
it.
because you can't fucking buy it. One of
I
mine
know.
would be Payback.
I do like Payback.
Oh, okay. Okay. I remember
And I don't know, like, is this the thing to choose where it's like you do 2 movies that you love, or you do 2 movies that, or like one movie that I think you guys would hate, or what do we do on this one? Like,
I would say
it's just-
it'd probably be easier to keep it like fun for you, and so you can dive deep into a movie. Is like maybe one movie you really like, and another movie that you like or want to do that you think could be a good conversation starter.
well, see, I've got movies that I guarantee you guys have never seen that you wouldn't even think I would enjoy. One of them being The Caveman's Valentine with Samuel L.
Never even heard
Jackson,
of it.
and one of them being Henry Poole is Here with Luke Wilson.
I've seen that one.
Great movie, isn't it?
And-
There's
and- okay.
well, you know what? Actually, because we haven't, I don't think we've reviewed it. I think I would. Did we review Chef?
No, we've talked.
So
about it for a million
my
fucking
two
times.
my two would have to be Payback and Chef. I'm just gonna go full bore. By the way, if you've never seen Caveman's Valentine, it's perhaps one of Samuel L. Jackson's best movies that nobody fucking knows about.
Or you see, we can do it one of 2 ways. We can do it that, or we pick each 2 movies that we want to curate for us, and we mix it in and do 2 random movies, or we just do the 2 movies we chose for one episode each.
If we mix it in, though,
I
we
can
have
get
to
fun
make sure
thumbnails
like
with the curated
2
per
separate
person.
movies. Like if we mix it in, we have to make sure that like your 2 movies aren't picked out of the hat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but
make sure
I
they-
mean,
they
I
combine
I don't think
well.
anybody else is choosing Guyver. I think you're safe.
Yeah.
I mean, another, and like
Pretty
that's
good.
the other thing is I would also like to do, like, we should start doing that. We're curated, but different themes, right? Like, do just 2 ones that we think everybody should watch, and then do like 3 or 2 movies we think the others haven't seen, and like go that, like we can go that route too. Like we've been going the same trek of just like, what should we do this week?
You know
For a
what?
long
Something,
time.
something that I really liked from a long time ago was Sleepers.
That's I always think I get these confused. Is that Spader?
No, Matt
Fuck.
Damon.
Robert Redford, right?
Okay.
No, Robert Redford's not in that.
What movie am I fucking thinking of?
You think about Sneakers.
Oh, god damn it, I am. Fuck. Oh,
Sleepers is
I think James Spader and Robert
the group
Redford
of kids that
both
grew up
in
together
Sleepers.
in a fucking home, and then one becomes a cop and shit like.
They remade it with Elliot Cunt, right?
No.
I thought they remade that with
I don't think it's been
Elliot Page.
Let's
What's
see,
his name? What's his name? What's his
Kevin
name from
Bacon,
Narc?
Robert De Niro.
What's his
Brad
name from
Pitt.
Narc?
Ray Liotta.
And Speed 2.
Oh, Jason Patrick something.
Yeah, Jason Patrick's in it. Matt Damon.
Yeah, I think they remade that with Ellen, formerly Ellen Page.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
Now Elliot Page. By the way, the Umbrella Academy character is now a male. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah, they said that he was actually going to go forward as and portray herself or portray himself as a woman, but they said no, we're going to change it for you.
Well, I think it's a little unfair that a man would be able to take a woman's job like that. So, equality. Get her out. You can't. I mean, I'm sorry. You'd have to get another. If they were going to keep it female.
Years ago, all roles were played by men.
Yeah, but as Tropic Thunder pointed out, that doesn't always work.
That's true. That doesn't always.
So,
I love that movie.
I do love that. Well, have we ever reviewed that?
I don't think so.
I don't think
so, yeah,
a great review though.
You know what we should do? We should do a Vietnam movie episode and include that like an asshole.
2 war movies like Saving Private Ryan and.
I would love to do a fucking war movie day where it's like, I mean, I think if you're doing 2,
Full Metal Jacket.
That's the thing is if you're doing 2, one of them has to be Saving Private Ryan. I mean, so like Full Metal Jacket's a great one. Platoon's a great one.
Really
Apocalypse Now.
Movie with Brad Pitt where they're stuck in a tank, and I can't think of that.
Oh, Fury. Yeah. That movie's awesome as shit.
Yeah.
World War II day. Fuck.
We should do. When is the day they stormed Normandy? It's probably
the 30th. It's end of the month.
Oh,
I agree.
In May.
Yeah. Fucking Lewis won't be on that one though. You guys want to do a Memorial Day episode?
He'll be for the 20. No, he won't be the 27th. No.
Yeah, you should.
No, the next is Harry Potter.
Memorial Day episode. So think about it. Saving Private Ryan, and we got to choose another one.
If you two haven't seen Fury, it's a really good movie.
Have you guys seen it?
I have not.
Oh, it's fucking.
I remember. I remember parts of it, but not all of it. Like I haven't seen it in a long time.
I mean, I haven't seen 1917.
That's a good one.
I also have not seen the one that Nolan did. Dunkirk. I haven't. We own them. I just haven't.
Dunkirk is also good. Dunkirk.
We should do Saving Private Ryan and Inglourious Bastards. Just putting it out there.
I've seen Inglourious Bastards.
I'm down. Straight up.
That's a really good pick.
I'm in.
I love that movie.
Let's keep. Yeah, we'll keep it World War II, fictional and non-fictional.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other movie,
have to.
The only other pairing that I would actually, at this point, thinking since it's Normandy, would be that or Overlord. So I'm good with
Overlord is good too.
But I think we have reviewed Overlord. So
have you?
I thought so.
I think we did a long
Overlord
time
is what?
ago.
I remember making refaces for it.
What is Overlord? The boat?
That's the Nazi zombie army creature flick with.
On the boat?
You guys did,
yes.
yeah.
Okay,
No. You're thinking of.
You're thinking of the Shudder movie.
Yeah, the blood something.
Okay. Overlord was originally bought as a script to use for another Cloverfield IP movie.
All I know is I love Wyatt Russell. Dude's a badass actor. He's in my favorite Black Mirror episode ever.
He was what's his face's son.
You know, as he's gotten into his 30s, there are shots of like photos of him where it's like, goddamn, he could be in a Thing sequel right now as Kurt Russell's character.
Ooh.
Like, there's certain photos of him where it's like, fuck, really? Like you see young Kurt Russell and then you see young him, and it's like, oh, I guess he is his papa.
I would give up the idea of a Thing sequel if they can give Guillermo del Toro his At the Mountains of Madness script and let him make that movie.
Oh my God, this just in. I'm glad you mentioned it.
Oh boy, he should have.
Big Trouble Little China. You guys remember that movie?
Are they remaking it? Tell me they're not remaking it.
You know who wants to, I believe, direct it?
John Woo?
No.
Weeble.
The Rock.
What?
I know.
No.
I know. When I heard that, I was like, oh, where do I sign a petition?
He needs to stay in his lane.
Dolph Lundgren was a legit martial artist and a biochemical engineer. He was, yes, sure, he was giant and ripped. But for fuck's sake, do we need steroid in every goddamn action movie?
I know.
I like The Rock. But for fuck off for a couple years, bro.
Oh, he's hopped
Just
up
a
on
couple.
his Zoa energy.
I mean, like if he directs it, is he going to be in it? That's
I hope
the
not.
bigger question.
I don't even know if I trust him to direct that movie.
I mean, I would rather have the dude who directed The Raid. What's his name? I can't remember. I'd rather let him direct it. Let The Rock if he has to, I guess. But I don't think I don't know. The Rock doesn't seem like he'd be able to do martial arts. He's a big dude.
Can't really
move. Look at every fight scene Batista's in. It's not agile.
It's not, no.
And I'd argue that The Rock is probably more agile than Batista because he's constantly active in that regard. But I don't know. I don't think he could do martial arts scenes. Not properly. He's more of wide. That's why he's fucking Black Adam. You know what I mean? I don't know who I'd necessarily would. I don't have anybody in mind unless I'll be all for Skarsgård, the Northman, for Dolph Lundgren. I don't know who would you cast for Lee's role. Brandon Lee was the other guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that.
You'd have to. If you're smart, you go with the dude from The Raid, the main guy. Fits the profile. Can actually do the fight scenes.
I know remakes can be made, and some of them are pretty good in that regard. But I feel there are certain movies you can't remake.
Yeah,
you shouldn't touch.
Immediately say movie you can't remake. I don't want Back to the Future to be remade.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I know. That's another one.
There's other movies I would say I would never want a Ghostbuster remake. I'm fine with that sequel. I never want the first movie to be remade.
Yeah.
I wish they would stop remaking the Terminator.
Isn't the Killers being remade?
The Killers?
Yeah, is it martial arts movie?
I don't know.
What was it?
Is that with that blonde chick in it that you love so much?
No.
Oh, are you talking about Replacement Killers?
No.
Chow Yun-fat?
The sad thing is that you can remake almost any martial arts movie because they don't do well in the West.
I will say I do love Bloodsport. Remake it. I think that if you haven't watched Bloodsport in a while, it's aged.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not very good.
I will say once they get into the Kumite, the movie's still awesome as shit. But everything before the Kumite is meh.
That movie has Power Ranger TV show energy to me.
Yeah, dude, Kumite. It really does.
You know what I mean?
It's probably got the same fucking budget per episode as the entire production had.
Do you also see sparks when he hits? No, just kidding.
I
do like Bloodsport, but it doesn't hold up as well.
What about so the problem is if they tried to remake Time Cop, they would completely fuck it up. They would go too goofy. They wouldn't go serious. I do too, but you couldn't do it.
Didn't they try to remake the Time Cop already? Or
I know they did it like a direct to DVD type sequel.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it was.
Okay.
The problem with those movies is you can't really. It's hard remaking them because of quote unquote toxic masculinity.
I think Time Cop is probably my favorite Van Damme movie.
Have you seen Hard Target?
Yeah, but
mullet.
Right. Fucking Billy Bob Van Dam. Don't tell my Karate Kid. And he's Cajun in it too for some reason because it's in Louisiana, so he's got a fake Cajun accent the whole time, which is probably not very far from his Belgium accent.
It's pretty bad too.
It's not good.
He's terrible at accents. Why? He's already got an accent. Why are you making him do a fucking another one, you dick? It's like telling Schwarzenegger to do a fucking Australian accent.
It's like telling oh my god, what's his name?
Udo Kier.
No, from it's like telling Jackie Chan to do an accent.
Yeah.
He does love to sing.
He does, yeah.
He also loves China.
He does. Mainland China.
Yeah.
Not such big fans of the old Hong Kong.
So
they don't love him either.
We've never even touched the fucking movies yet.
We mentioned them.
Wow.
We've mentioned them.
So basically you got these fucking stupid kids and they go to this fucking weird fairyland or some shit.
When they become 11, they
And
go to
once they hit the puberties, these fucking perverts, they bring them on in. And sorry, go on.
Have you guys seen? Did you guys see all the Harry Potter movies in theater?
Yes.
No, I did not.
I started seeing them with Jen. I think for Prisoner of Azkaban might have been our first, maybe Goblet of Fire. But I don't know. Wait, what year did Goblet of Fire come out?
05?
Definitely not. We started dating in 09. So 09 and beyond, we saw those in theaters.
That was some other broad you were with.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was the first movie I went to see where they did the full run, like the marathon concept. That was the first time.
And you did
I
that?
watched them all. Yep.
I think the Goblet of Fire was the first one that I actually saw in theater, and that's when I fucking wanted to punch the lady behind me because she was talking so fucking loud on her phone.
Oh my god.
Alex has a story for everything.
During the whole movie, dude. No, because I sat down and I was wearing a hat. She told me to take off my hat because her kid couldn't see. So
Fuck your kid.
I was nice. I took off my hat. Then in the middle of the movie, she started talking to somebody on the phone. Jeffrey, I can't talk right now. I'm in the theater.
Jeffrey?
Oh, God,
I'm just saying Jeffrey. And she kept saying, I'm in the theater. I can't talk right now. Oh, no. Yeah, I remember. And she started carrying on a conversation. I stayed quiet the whole time. My wife was grabbing my hand and squeezing because I like whispered to her. I was like, I'm going to say something.
Question. You think she was talking to the Toys R Us giraffe?
I said I was just making up the name Jeffrey.
In her head. So second question. Have you guys read all the books?
Yep.
No.
I read up until 6.
Hey,
including The Cursed Child.
Never fucking read a book. No, I've read a book. None of these.
I've actually only, even though I got this fucking library behind me, I've only read the first book.
Dude, why would you choose a library photo that is like a college library and these are the old books that nobody goes in? Like, look at the fucking depressing racks behind you. Like, what is that?
No, I love to read. I read a stupid amount of books, but fantasy and kids magic stuff was never my thing. So I recently just read the first book, I think last year.
And as an adult, can you enjoy it?
Well,
it's okay.
That's what I'm worried about, because like I'm fucking gonna be 30 whatever. I don't even know, to be honest with you. 33.
Let me put it this way.
33 or 34.
33, I think. Yeah. Anyway.
Age is just a number.
Like at this age, like I don't feel like if I go, like I'm not gonna get the whimsy. You know what I mean? Like
I love Harry Potter. Like I can blow through these movies. I love the books. I can blow them all. But I rather audiobook the books than
that's what I did. I read the first two in book form, and then I did the rest in audio, and then I fell off on the 6th book.
But I think Harry Potter. God damn it, man! I think Harry Potter.
Sorry, you know the scenes in Exorcist where it flashes to Pazuzu, the weird face? That's what I see when Matt does that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Harry Potter is important in this generation because I think it did for the fantasy genre what Lord of the Rings did for the fantasy genre. Kind of re-sparked that.
It's also, when you think about it, like the 2 franchises before the Harry Potter films that I thought like almost like euphoric sense of like the films like you just felt like part of something watching them. The 2 franchises before that for me, even though they came out before I was born, was Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. Like those movies just have like a magic to them that like I just feel comforting.
So I've actually been thinking a lot about this, because it's a real thing, and it's the same thing with TV shows you love. I feel there's got to be a certain dopamine, some sort of chemical thing it reacts to, whether it be nostalgia or just. But those movies are also, if you notice, they're all positives too. Like those movies are designed to, like, when you walked out, like those were meant to like. Good. Well, yeah, they were meant for when you walked out of the theater, you were in a great mood. You were more than likely with friends. Like you know, that was like movies aren't made for that anymore. What was the last movie you saw that was just like Chef? Chef is a good example.
Yes,
You walk out of the theater and you feel great after watching that movie or after you view it. It's even though there's serious shit in it, the movie's nothing but positive energy from the beginning it starts to when it ends. So it's like those movies really aren't made too much, and that's why like I agree with Lewis. There's just like when we reviewed Back to the Future and watched them, you get that feeling, you know, like, oh, we're starting this up again. Same thing I feel like with The Office. Now, the problem with these things, especially when they're more than one or two, is you get that drop at the end, like, oh, my best friend's leaving again. Yeah. Like, we blew through those 3 movies. Was that 9 seasons?
That also leans into why those franchises I just don't want. I'm not a person that, like, if someone remakes a movie, I'm like, it ruined my childhood. But I think if you remake, you know, Ghostbusters, like I feel like you're not.
You just got rated.
Capture.
We getting rated by Mikey. What's up, Mikey?
What up, Mikey?
Raid.
FBI, open up.
I just feel like
I just want to say welcome. Rum. What's up, everybody?
I don't like that.
It's gonna haunt Lewis's nightmares. Awesome. We do a Zoom call for the episodes, and I'm gonna be jumping in the game chat after. How's it going, Rum? How you doing? I'll see if Alex Giovanni will join me. Lewis got to tend to his library full of dead souls. That's speaking of Ghostbusters. That's where the fucking movie began. So we are talking about Harry Potter 1 through 4. We've made it through the first 10 minutes. I think of the first movie.
First movie.
But you know what? No, this is Harry Potter related, and it's our fucking show. Are any of you guys excited for the Hogwarts Legacy game coming out?
I really want to play the game. It looks good.
I gotta check it out. I gotta see it. I haven't seen it.
How are you doing, Ron? Mikey, how are you doing? Like I said, we'll be in the game chat after the episode. I think the footage I've seen so far is looking pretty decent. I mean, it's all like PlayStation focused for some reason, but I think they might
PS4 exclusive or PS5.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen nothing but PlayStation, so it might be one of those PC Sony exclusives. But
or
who
that
knows?
bullshit where Sony has it for a year and then it comes to everybody.
You know what? I just want them to make Spider-Man on the fucking PC. Like, why is that so hard to do? Just give me a fucking Spider-Man PC port. You don't even have to do much to it. It's a beautiful game. Just let me do whatever resolution I want to do.
They would make money. They would make bank.
I bought it twice on the PS4 because then I bought the Game of the Year edition because it was on sale. I'll buy it a third fucking time. Just give it to me.
I will too.
They need to remaster Spider-Man 2. The same Randy Spider-Man 2.
Oh, so
what is up, Wolf the Astronopher? I think I said Astronopher. What game? I have several HP PC games. Do you have Paperboy?
Hey, chat, ask me.
I think there's Harry Potter PC games.
Ask me how many copies of Final Fantasy VII I own.
Oh, Jesus.
6.
No.
19, I'm thinking.
Oh, God. I
had a 9 in there.
I know there are a lot of the Harry Potter games are actually considered abandonware now, and you can download them for free depending, what the site is. But like,
the Lego games are.
I have the Lego
games also.
I have the Lego Harry Potter collection on my Xbox. What ones do you own, and how are they? I've been on a weird, random abandonware kick lately, where like I have modern PC and I'm playing the Punisher game again.
I'm playing Stardew Valley, man. So I hear you.
How many Harry Potter games are there? Like, did they make a game for each? Did they really make a game for each movie?
I think so.
Wow.
One for each movie. There's the Lego collection.
Well, what have I done? The Lego collection, I'm not so much thinking about. I'm thinking about like dedicated Harry Potter games. Do they do one for each movie?
For each.
Holy shit!
You saw that, yeah.
Yeah, no, my mouse did something stupid.
There are 17 Harry Potter games.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
That's a lot.
So Wolf has the first and third. And
the first three and I've actually been looking at those games because I've been roaming the abandonware websites and I've seen them. I've actually been considering, but like some of them are rough. Like the first couple games are old as shit. You know
my god, dude! The fucking pixelation.
It
so
looks
bad.
like Return to Castle Wolfenstein. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's graphically, it's a little rough, but I mean, it's fucking 2002 or whatever it is. So it's only so much you can expect. I think that was still when Delta Force Extreme was coming out.
Oh god.
You know, if you ever played that game. Old as shit, I was playing them on Windows. Playing it on Windows 95. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like, I mean, think about that though, right? 20 years and looking at that shit's like archaic. So if you think about that spectrum, what is it going to be like in 100 years? Like, if we've made that much progress in, well, not 20, 30 years, we'll say. 30 years, we've gone from here to here. Like, where does the next 30 go? Like, it is a lot of progress.
Just think of it this way: the new Spider-Man that's out, the really good one that did really well.
Web of
years
Shadows?
down the road, not Web of Shadows. That's probably the best one. But the Spider-Man that came out for PS4, that's going to be looked on as like ancient technology and graphics.
Well, that's because you'll be wearing helmets, you know, to fucking like play the game. Everything will be VR. It'll be photorealistic, and we'll all be it'll be basically like that movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis.
Oh god. Isn't that the one where the guy was fucking dipping fucking pancakes in fucking buckets of syrup?
Yeah, as he portrayed a sexy young woman. Guys, I forgot to put my Streamlabs chatbot on, so none of my commands are working. So we're gonna have a weird screen pulling up again. I forgot I restarted my PC and this fucking maybe there's a startup option, but the motherfucker doesn't start up on reboot. So the first movie, and I will say this, I for a long time was like the first two are kids movies. I don't have any fucking interest in them, and I think for the first one I'm still correct.
Yeah, and it should be because it was an introduction into this world.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, every time I hear, like, a Harry Potter enthusiast, it's still like, yeah, no, they're good, but they're still kids' movies. Or the first one.
The first one's slow. There's not a lot of action, and
I mean, it's not so much slow. It is a kids movie.
I didn't find it slow. I just found it to be much more.
It's the fascination of magic,
fantasy, and like the first movie, his family that they bring him to are they're shitheads, right? But they're not really just they're just shitheads. And then by like the third movie, they're basically like, "We'll cut your fucking head." Like they're just pieces of garbage. So like the first movie has still that kind of like, dare I say, Disney aura of like, no matter what, it's all in a nice fluffy pillow. And I'd say from the second movie on, that disappears for at least a good amount.
Well, in one of them, Harry Potter almost kills his uncle's sister. Makes her blown away. They found her later.
Wolf says,
he
almost
died.
Jesus. Wolf said, did you know that "Why Are You Wearing Glasses" scene was because the actor for Draco forgot his line? I mean, I've also seen YouTube videos of like Alan Rickman and Dumbledore they had a fart machine in Harry's sleeping bag in the one scene, and they did it while they were in like, so it must have been, I would say for most of those actors in the franchise, this is probably the most fun thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and it sucks that Alan
8 movies long.
At least for the kids, they made lifelong friendships.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You gotta imagine the rest of the crew got tight while the ones that didn't get murdered eventually.
I didn't see the reunion yet, so I do want to watch that.
You gotta see
and then
it.
We'll talk,
there's a reunion
about
thing?
There's a reunion thing.
We'll talk about it for the second.
Is Alan Rickman there?
No,
Yeah.
he's dead. Dude, Alan.
He was like that.
The guy who played Mini-Me, the guy who plays Ollivander.
I've got a potion for it.
Now you're just fucking naming them all, huh?
The first Dumbledore, like they're all dead.
Don't invite him. He doesn't do anything. He just fucking, I'm Dumbledore. Like literally, the second Dumbledore is fucking dancing. I get it, but like everybody loves him. Everybody says how good he is, and it's like the other guy comes in literally like fucking dancing in the movie and shit.
The reason why everybody loves the first Dumbledore is because if you read the books, that's what everybody imagined Dumbledore as.
Didn't.
Exactly. So
fuck him. Get him out.
Who's the guy? Who's the exercise guy with the afro? You know who I'm talking about?
Richard Simmons.
Can you imagine him as Dumbledore?
Exactly. There's a potion for that. But he did, like, he literally, like, how do I, like, Dumbledore original OG is classical
There's always
music.
a potion for that, yes.
Is classical music, and the second Dumbledore was jazz. Like, I don't know how better to put it.
If OG Dumbledore had to yell, though, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? He would have had a heart attack.
I also, yeah, Richard Simmons. Thanks, Vet. I also want to say that I feel like the first Dumbledore was probably a racist.
Probably.
Oh, a black one put him in Slytherin, like just a dick.
They probably had to keep him in his trailer.
Billy Blanks had no afro. I don't know, dude, like and when we watched him, I immediately noticed how, like, when you compare the two, the first Dumbledore does look like he's being held up by like a wooden, like, stilt, like, just welcome children this year. Like, yeah, that's why he had giant gowns, because it was just like a Weekend at Bernie's thing going on.
But the first two occasionally pull a Biden and go to, like, shake someone's hand that's not fucking there.
Oh shit. No, but the first two Dumbledores actually was pretty good for the first two movies.
Yeah, he was good. He is a good Dumbledore.
That progressed afterwards was right for that.
Was he replaced in the third movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He passed away.
What if you find out that he passed away from, like, he had a heart attack banging hookers? Like, he's just got a table of blow. Like, holy shit, Dumbledore knew how to party. Richard Simmons, I believe. Although I don't know what Richard Simmons is. Like, hasn't ever been confirmed if he's gay?
No, there's no confirmation. He won't talk about it either.
Dear diary.
Jay Leno has tried many, many times.
Even in his not the interview, the documentary, Where is Richard Simmons? He still doesn't talk about it.
What if he's asexual?
Yeah.
I just love to get sweaty to the oldies.
He just wants to get sweaty to the oldies. I don't care.
It's all good. Giant fucking Jaffro.
Oh, the Jaffro?
Every year they see him on TV, he's older, but his afro gets bigger.
Right? His hair is immaculate.
Collecting a bunch of knowledge.
It's a pumpkin.
He's literally, out of the shower, though. It's like Sideshow Bob. He's like, right in his face. I mean, so we talked about the first Harry Potter movie is much more of a children's kind of, it introduces everybody. It kind of sets the tone. It misdirects you. Snape, literally that reveal comes out at the end. Does take an oddly dark tone at the end of that one with...
yeah, it does.
Yeah, it goes from like, it's a kid's movie to like, nah, bitch, shit's coming. And it goes real weird. Really weird at the end. But I like the first one more. I like them all way more than I thought I was gonna, frankly.
Vet does have a couple things to say to
I love Anthony. Black cats. But you need to stop petting your pussy.
I don't know why. Black cat. She's like the typical raccoon.
I don't know why I said it that way, but it's funny in my head.
Her name is Sassafras.
Sass, yeah.
How'd that cat get in the library that is in someone's basement? Of a police station. That's a police station library in the basement.
Sass is kind of striped, yeah.
How much longer are you going? I don't know. Probably another 45 to an hour. We still
have to cover the other three.
We're getting pretty focused. I mean, here's the truth of it, right? Like, yeah, a lot of stuff does happen, but the deep shit doesn't start happening until that in between of Goblet or Azkaban the Goblet.
Correct. Yeah, Azkaban Goblet.
Like, even the first, like, the second one gets more serious, but still, it's under kind of that, like, and then Azkaban brings a new level, because then you have essentially, you have Gary Oldman come in, or his character and his lore. Oh, something got auto-modded. Random thought, but did anyone else think the Elder Wand looked like anal beads? Or is it just me?
To my wife all the
I'll
time.
allow it.
It absolutely did.
And it was Dumbledore's wand.
I actually am drinking. Well, we now know why.
Harry, did you put your wand in my goblet of fire? No, it is Dumbledore's wand.
Dude,
he's a homosexual man.
Literally, when Voldemort grabbed it, he's like, "It stinks." Why? Must be the wood.
But he did the thing where it does stink, but you go in for the second sniff anyways. That's what he did.
The slow build up in the franchise, or the slow build up in the first movie?
Or movie to movie. I think it was.
I mean, well, so the first two are not. I mean, they're not. I wouldn't call them slow. They move fairly well. They have a good pacing. The third one Prisoner of Azkaban I would call probably the slowest of the movies, as far as just like, it's very small in its localization. The action that's there, the little that's there is big, but the movie itself, it's shorter than the others, I believe. Like it feels like a smaller film, but an important film as far as what it sets up.
I don't mind that because it's to take the lore, you have to lore dump somewhere, and to split it amongst how many movies they had, I think you would lose the person amongst the lore. So I think the middle ground was a pretty good way to go with a lore dump.
Each one of these movies, as I was watching, it kind of went from, we're going to introduce something to you at the beginning, and it's going to come to you later at the end, and it did that through everything. So like at the beginning, they introduced the Dementors and how Harry how Harry was saved by Lupin, and then later on Lupin teaches him how to save himself from Dementors. So like they did that in the fourth movie as well, but the first one not so much. It was just him like fascinated. Second one was him figuring shit out on his own with his friends, and then the third and fourth, it was like introduction to this. It's gonna come back later.
Question: I just thought about this. Right, Snape is Mr. Potion guy. Would it have been easier just to whip a potion in dude's face at the end of the first one, rather than fucking spell battling him?
Then you run into would it have been easier to fly the eagles to Mordor, and then some fucking Lord of the Rings loser tells you why they can't fly the eagles. So you just offended someone reading Harry Potter somewhere.
I think just using the word Mordor in the conversation triggered some people.
I like Lord of the Rings, and I can't fucking stand people who love Lord of the Rings.
Well, man, you're not a Tolkien head?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Thank you, though.
The gatekeepers annoy the hell out of me.
Well, that's in anything.
It's not the greatest movie series ever. Calm down.
Literally, right now, somebody
said about Game of Thrones.
Somebody will watch this who's like a purist of the book, and they're just sitting there. You just don't get it. You didn't even fucking read the books. You don't get the depth. They're not children's books, and it's like, you exclusively shop in YA section? They're fucking kids' books. What do you want me to say?
No fan is worse though than Star Wars fans.
Yeah,
I will have to say that.
I have to disagree.
I think Clerks 2 made that argument pretty clear against the Lord of the Rings fans.
Wrestling fans are the worst.
Ooh. Wrestling fans are all delusional. It's
all fucking fake. Everyone wants to fight you.
Well, not only that, but every diehard wrestling fan was like, yeah, I could have been a champion. Could ya? All 468 pounds at your 5'7" frame? Could ya?
In a wheelchair?
Yeah. You can't even make yourself fucking dinner.
And it's funny because when they're like, I could take him right now. Normally that's a joke, but no, they
it's
think
you can't even take your diabetes, Deborah. You can't fucking
right? Are you gonna fight him after you chug the 2-liter of Mountain Dew? Star Trek, according to Vet, is the worst. As a Star Wars fan, Mikey admits to being terrible. He said bad. I said, I'm sorry, bad.
I still think wrestling fans are the fucking worst.
I don't think Star Trek fans are the worst because all of the real Star Trek fans like the good Star Trek, which is not anything on Paramount Plus.
No Picard?
So I
Picard
don't think
bad.
Star Trek fans are as bad. And I'm not a Star Trek guy.
I do like Picard.
I am not a Trekkie. I've heard Picard is slow and way too political, and I just
its pacing was completely off, which sucks because that's Next Generation was one of my favorite Star Treks. I do like the original Star Trek. In chat, I've seen the original Star Trek. I do love the original.
I'm a poser. I'm not a Trekkie, but I did used to watch Next Generation because Patrick Stewart, dude's awesome. Why not? Right?
I like them all except for Enterprise, which is Scott Bakula.
I like the one guy in Beyond
Enterprise
Belief more than I liked him in Star Trek.
Totally.
You ever watch that show Beyond Belief? It used to be like the dark-haired dude, the one who talks like this.
Yeah.
And then so Beyond Belief was literally a ripoff of Twilight Zone, Tales of the Crypt, where it'd be like, today we're going to show you 3 stories. You're going to tell us if they're real or if they're beyond belief. And then you'd watch the little short films, and it was like a half-hour episode, so they were 8 minutes each or whatever, with commercials. And then he'd fucking pop up again, and he'd be like, so what about this one? The story of the man who found the shrunken hand and then his wishes came true.
You've never seen that show, Alex?
Dude.
No.
And then like
Probably have if
he
you
always
watched it.
felt like he was like every time he said it, I felt like he was like, gotcha. He's just like, nope, that one's all us. And it's like, Jesus.
I met him when I worked in the airport. I met him, and I was like, "Oh, it's you!" And I all the
Beyond belief, right? He's
yeah,
like,
all the things I could name. I was like, "You're from
guess.
Beyond Belief," and he's
Sure.
Now I gotta find
Yeah.
out which one it is.
You probably know it. Like you'd have
Wolf
to, like,
is both a Trek and Star Wars fan, but can be erased from existence. Disney ruined everything. Disney did ruin Star Wars.
Disney did.
Well, no.
No,
Disney
I-
ruined Star Wars movies, but have
Yeah.
brought a whole new
Oh.
resurgence of Star Wars content in the television shows.
Okay, the guy who
but
played
the-
Riker in fucking Next Generation.
Yes.
Okay.
the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
good
Riker.
Things that the Star Wars IP has made are the shows and Rogue One. I will fight
Rogue
anyone.
One.
So
And it's funny because they were against Rogue One the entire
Rogue
time.
One's awesome, but
I really did like Rogue One.
the problem is Rogue One is kind of a hollow movie because it's a one-off and everybody dies.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
Vet says best Star Trek movie is Galaxy Quest. We love that fucking movie here on this
Oh, movie's
show.
amazing.
I love Galaxy
Have
Quest.
you guys seen the documentary? on
Not
it?
yet. I have to.
Not
I know. To
It's on-
Where is
yeah,
it?
it's on
Where's it
Amazon.
playing?
Prime.
It's on
Yeah,
Prime.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I love that movie. That's one of my favorites.
Never
Once
give
again,
Never
and it's not unconnected. Alan Rickman, bitches. He's in both. It works. Go fuck yourselves.
Yep.
So fuck the first two. We're done with those. We're gonna go right to Prisoner.
But the
or,
second
yeah.
one does start getting darker, though.
It does.
Yeah.
It as I talked
It does
earlier,
start getting darker.
it's got those like Sam Raimi, like Drag Me to Hell, Evil Dead kind of weird panic angles. The color tone from the first movie to the second one isn't as drastic. And like Deathly Hallows, basically it's just gray and blues. But like the first one's color tone is bright, it's vibrant, it's yellow lighting, it's Christmas. The second one does start the darker, cooler tonage that the movies just kind of ramp up each film.
The second one
5
also
Chicago
had,
dogs for peppers on Galaxy. Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. I've actually never watched any of those.
They are both
Star Wars.
really
Star Wars
good.
Rebels is really good.
Clone Wars
Is
really
it
good.
for kids?
No, I
Adult kids?
would say
Yeah.
adult kids. Yeah.
The shows.
You mean pedophiles?
the Bad Batch, Clone Wars, and Rebels get very like into the politics of Star Wars, and it can get boring if you like Star Trek, you'd probably like those.
No.
Can we talk about Harry Potter's parcel tongue, where it sounds like he's having an asthma attack every time he talks?
Yeah.
No good for adults. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get into it. I don't think I'd be able to. I mean, I do. I actually at one point had a lot of interest, but I don't think I could. I would lose interest, I think.
I was watching it around my son, who's 2, but then he started doing like the gun motions and the pupils.
Yeah,
I was like,
but
maybe not.
I don't have a kid because then it's like Jen comes home, I'm high, I'm watching Star Wars Rebels. She's like, "What the fuck did you do all day?" I'm like, "Well, I watch Star Wars Rebels."
Don't even answer her.
So
She's
then-
like, "What'd
so
you do
then-
all day?" Just go dun dun dun.
Yeah,
dun.
right.
So what you're saying is I was watching Star Wars, and my kid, when she hit my daughter in the face with a baseball bat, it was because she was watching Star Wars. Well, actually, she didn't hit her face; she hit her in her neck.
Probably. I mean,
It was her trying to pretend like she was in Star Wars.
she might just
maybe,
hate her.
Maybe the other kid had it coming. You ever think about
Yeah.
that?
Yes,
Is
my
your
oldest is
is-
a fucking pain in the ass.
Is your oldest a douchebag?
I remember the time my eldest fucking she made a joke and said Avada Kedavra, and my wife freaked out and she called me at work and fucking was screaming, and I was like, "What?" She goes, "Your daughter just did the curse," and I was like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about?" And she goes, "She did Avada Kedavra," and I was like, "You know that's fake, right?"
See, I never knew.
I'm not
what they were
making that much
saying.
money, Vet. I gotta make dinner still.
I would always ask Shay if it was avocado cadaver, and she would get really mad.
Yeah.
That's not how it's written in the goddamn book.
Did she get mad at you and fucking say, "I'm not talking to you no more"?
Slept on the couch for a week.
No,
It was a Harry
it's-
Potter joke.
It's funny I mentioned my wife. So my wife has 3. Giovanni has seen it when I had it all up. 3 entire bookshelves full of 4 different versions of the Harry Potter paperbacks. We have
The illustrateds
hardcover-
as well?
Yeah, we have the UK editions. Years ago.
Does the
years
UK
ago,
edition have like "blimey" and shit like that?
like
the word cunt is a lot.
like I don't know, like 8 years ago or so, when
Under the stairs can
Funko-
be comfortable, Wolf.
when Funko Pops started to kind of like blow up, when they just started to blow up, they released the Harry Potter, the first line, which was like 7. We didn't own one of those plastic piece of shits at all. I bought her one. Now we have like 40 something Harry Potter Funko Pops.
How many different shelves? I remember this. How many different shelves did you buy to build just for those?
Oh, for all our Harry Potter stuff, we had 4 giant bookshelves.
I remember you started out with 1, and then you told me that you had to buy like 3 in fucking like less than a month.
I am gonna say this. No disrespect. I know people love Funkos. As you can see, I've got some.
Oh, they're stupid. But I
No. At what point can we start equating them to Beanie Baby collectors?
Yep.
They are, man. They are.
They are. And then the modern
Like,
day
I
Beanie
think
Babies.
if you have enough to where you're filling those like 30-gallon giant Tupperware bins full, you're the same as a Beanie Baby collector. But there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't know. I think if you're collecting them because you enjoy them, it's different than the people that are like, no, one day, man, that Iron Man that was reproduced by the millions will be worth, it'll be worth 47 cents in a landfill.
Your mom went in on Beanie Babies, didn't she?
Oh, goddamn, dude. She had, it was like it was one of those tubs that I remember being so big, I couldn't lift it as a kid. And it was just huge, and it was just full of them. And like, she like, at one point, I swear to God, she had it in her head that was her nest egg. And
if they were untouched, it would have been.
Oh, it was going. Wait, who the fuck's buying Beanie Babies?
No one. There's a documentary
like
on it.
you're not gonna go to Antiques Roadshow and be like, yes, this Beanie Baby particularly was only made and sold at McDonald's for the months of this and this, therefore it's worth 47 cents. What we got? We got Wow Bro Personal Tech. Shut up, Fabian. Have them in the sunlight. You have them in the sunlight, they're gonna wash out, bro.
God.
Okay, but no. Which ones sell for thousands of dollars? Like, I hate when people say, "Bro, some sell for thousands. 4 have sold for more than that." Like, enough. Like, which ones have sold for that much? Where can I get them? Right?
They can't be exposed to sunlight.
Like the Funko Pops. Nah, man, some of them sell for thousands. Which ones? Ones that nobody but 16 fucking people have? No shit, that's why they sell for thousands.
They still have to smell like chicken nuggets.
Sold one for 80 that he bought for $9. I like that turnaround, but it's not thousands. Fabian keeps saying that. What ones have sold for that much?
Well, shit, Fabian was just talking about how he bought a fucking Elvis Funko Pop for his mom.
That actually may be one that might be worth money one day.
Was it just because you wanted to buy it for her? I'm curious.
I'm gonna look up rarest Funko Pops. I know some of the Harry Potter ones are expensive.
And if you tell me that Logan Paul wore one to a boxing match, I'm gonna fucking whip a brick at someone.
So I used to get these subscription boxes. They're the Nerd Block, and I started collecting all these things, and I had like almost a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then finally, when I stopped subscribing to them, I started packaging stuff in different boxes for each of my nephews and nieces, and I like gifted them 1 year each a box, and it was stuff that they would like, and I just gave it to them. I don't know, they didn't tell me.
The truth of it is, if you got into the Funko shit early, you might have some money sitting around. But now they're so reproduced, none of these ones are, unless they're the ones that are limited edition that you cannot get your hands on. And you're gonna pay out the ass for those because they've gotten more expensive as well.
Yeah, Clockwork Orange Glow in the Dark Chase Funko Pop 04, $13,300.
To how many buyers is my question? Who is in the market? Is it one dude that hopefully will buy everybody's for exorbitant amounts of money? Like, how many people are sitting there with 14 grand to dedicate to a goddamn Funko? Wolf says, also, can we talk about how Harry was unrealistically mentally stable for a kid that grew up? I would argue things like the PTSD flashbacks, the connection with Voldemort in general. Yeah. He wasn't very stable. And I would also say that part of Harry Potter is there are moments where Harry Potter stands tall like a stone, but the damage he does to his friends that surround him is evident. Everybody, by the end of the series, and we'll keep it in the 4, and this is the reason why where we're breaking, it's kind of hard, because that's where the serious tonality really starts to come into play. So, like, yes, there are moments where Harry is the most stable, but that also, I mean, is the normal reaction to seeing some of the shit that's going on to run away and be scared? And is he stable, or is he so fucked up and desensitized that these images and these demons and these fears that should cripple somebody normally no longer affect him? I don't know if he's necessarily stable.
He's also introduced to this new world that he's actually accepting as his real world versus the Dursleys. What do you call the Dursley or Dudley or whatever they're called? So he's accepting accepting magic as his like real life, like that's where he should be, and like all the shit that's been happening there is like what he's only gonna deal with for now, just to get there. You know what I mean?
Not only that, Harry has two major motivating factors through all movies, even especially in the first four.
Pussy. Oh wait, no.
One, Voldemort's power is running through him, so he kind of has a one-up in certain things he does.
He doesn't realize
Two, he lost his parents, and everybody he's meeting throughout the movies, he's obviously like, this is my family. And when his family becomes threatened, you know, you clearly can tell Harry will do anything he can to protect them.
All right, so for real, I kind of wish this movie would have ended where he's actually in an insane asylum and none of it's real.
Just wakes up.
Oh, like Snape is a doctor. Dumbledore's the head of the mental asylum. All of his teachers are doctors. The ones that died, you know, went on vacations.
You want to Shutter Island?
Or I kind of do.
Actually got kind of cured.
I think that'd be fucking awesome. Like DC, by the end, like go American McGee's Harry Potter.
I can see where you're coming from, Matt. It's not in these first four, but we'll get to it in the next episode. But one of the most haunting scenes for energy in what you're talking about is when Dumbledore visits Tom Riddle in the asylum. Yeah, like that was like super disturbing. Like that
was that in the first four? Was that in the first?
No, that wasn't in the first four.
Well, I mean, in the first, like in Goblet of Fire, they kill fucking Batman.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, there's a definite tonal shift from. I mean, like I said, the second one is a different tonal shift. The third one is different because it's darker, but it's slower, so you don't see the full legs of the darkness. And then Goblet of Fire starts to let that darkness creep in to the point where Voldemort is actually impacting Harry's life. Those around him, stakes are getting real. Harry almost dies in it. Robert Pattinson dies in it.
Where technology is introduced into it.
Yeah, and not only that, but the trophy games that they perform in.
Dude, yeah,
they're pretty fucking fatal.
It's
like, hey, you can die.
In my opinion, it's the first Harry Potter movie that adds real stakes, at least for Harry and his crew.
Yeah,
I would always joke around with my wife, and I would say I felt that Hogwarts was like a school on the south side of Chicago that should close down every year. Because if I'm like the parents of these like one of the fucking special ed kids that goes to Hogwarts. Like the first movie goes on and I'm like, do we send Timmy back to school? Oh, now there's Dementors attacking the school. Oh, we'll send them back. It's like, why are these wizard parents sending their kids there?
So I kind of want to splice together the trailer, or make a trailer for Harry Potter Meets the Principal with James Belushi. I think that'd be fun. What is this? I think the three students actually do die in the trials. It's more than one person dies in that movie. And then from then on, it's like, oh shit, Voldemort's real. Like, there's almost like an ignorance with the first three, and then the third one starts to be like, shit's getting real. And then by Goblet of Fire, you actually feel impact from what's going on. And then from there, admittedly, you don't it's all about the impact of what's going on.
Yeah,
just at the end, you get fucking Hermione saying everything's going to change from here, isn't it?
Which,
it's like, and Harry looks at her and goes, yeah.
I kind of love those scenes in movies. Like, there's the certain, like, where it's like, no, we got more to come. And I like that about a movie. Just like the Back to the Future 2. Back to the Future will be back. Summer 1990. There's something awesome about knowing that more content is, and think about it. Why do we love shows and streaming? Because we know more content's going to feed. Same thing, but it was back in the day. So look what The Matrix did. The Matrix pulled that shit too. They released them like 6 months apart because they filmed them together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the precursor to the feed of content that we're getting now. Look at the TV shows. If you can't binge watch a TV show, does it piss you off? Pisses me
It
off.
does.
These
Also,
movies... Oh, good.
I was gonna say also, only one movie out of all these movies had well, there was another one later, but had a credit scene, extra credit scene, and that was the one with what's his name, the defense against the dark arts, the one that tries to
Roy Lockhart.
Yeah, if you watched all the way to the end of the credits, he's actually in a fucking a straitjacket, and it's saying "Who am I?" and that's how they end that fucking. Was it the second movie? Yeah, that was the second movie, right?
That was
the Chamber of Secrets. Yeah,
Chamber of Secrets.
Also,
so out of all these movies, that's the only one that ends like that.
Did you know Neo wasn't chosen in the Matrix trilogy? It was Agent Smith. I don't want to go into Matrix lore. Let's not talk about that franchise right now.
We did that one a couple months ago.
It's just that last one was such a hunk of shit.
I know.
What was I gonna fucking say? Damn it, I lost my train of thought. I had a good point too. It was good. I want you to know that. I don't remember what the fuck it was. It was good.
I love it was good. I want you to know.
Just so we're all clear, it would have been a good thought.
What I was gonna say is, even as an adult, and I wonder if, because I've never read the books, my wife has, how they compare to the books in like the sense of change of this movie. Because I mean, you get into the later movies and it really hits the allegory of like this kid has no family to call his name, and essentially like his upbringing is once you get into the later movies, it's affecting other people. Like he gets into like essentially people's lives are changing because of him. And like I wonder if the books carry that like dark theme all throughout because they are considered young adult novels.
I would hope so. I mean, it's literally the way the movie's portrayed, at least, is it's Harry's descent into madness, essentially up until, and I don't really want to talk about it, but we'll get into it next week or for the next episode, 2 weeks from now, in the final 4. But it is at least up until Deathly Hallows Part 1, a descent into madness, and then I would say Deathly Hallows Part 2 is where he's kind of come to grips with it. It's almost like the scene. I mean, I will compare it to the Matrix again, and it's almost like when Neo at the end of the first one understands what he can do. Like Deathly Hallows Part 2 is really, I mean, the first one they start going into it, but number 2 is where Harry's kind of like leading the charge. He's like, "Fuck it, if I die, if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies."
Yeah, and is there a feeling that brains can't remember? Yeah, and you know what? It'll be 3 in the fucking morning, and I'll be awake, not doing it. That's what I was gonna say.
Join the Discord, you'll find it later in there.
Dude,
probably
Alex did that the one time we were reviewing something, and he texted us like a fucking day and a half later the answer, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "I mentioned this on the show." I was like, "Oh yeah,
information I could have used yesterday."
I gotta finish. No, but it's just really weird how everything goes. You know, for Harry, he starts out as a kid that's fascinated by this magic. He meets these friends. His friends are starting to help him, and then by the 4th one, everybody hates him. And then they slowly come back to him. Well, and then all of a sudden, the fucking bad guy's there, and Harry's like, "It's here," you know, like he's telling, "I told you all the time," you know, like.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe the first one, it feels like a kid's movie because Harry's insulated. Like, by the end of Harry Potter 1, like, the gravity of his situation is still not really prevalent. Like, there's there's these scenes where they allude to it with the dialogue and shit like that. But, like, maybe that's the thing about the first one, is it has that, like, throughout the whole movie, it's like, oh, he'll be fine, he's a kid. Maybe that's part of the problem. You know, and I still will maintain it's shot more like a kid's movie.
But I also feel like Harry doesn't realize
Merry Christmas.
Harry doesn't realize the nature of his situation's impact on other people's lives, I feel, until Robert Pattinson's character dies.
Yeah, he's kind of ignorant to it.
Yeah, he's kind of like, even up to that point, he's like, you know,
well, he himself, before Pattinson died, felt the grasp of death.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of them were on. You know, it just. So yeah, I mean, it also I would argue that scene where Pattinson does die, Harry, not even after he dies, but in that scene together with him, understands like, oh shit, this is real. Like, because you gotta remember, he looks at Robert Pattinson like, this dude's better than me, and this dude gets wiped out. Like, there's a certain like holy fuckness that comes to him. I agree, yeah.
Because he had
sorry, Alex, as a dad, that scene when Pattinson's father,
that was rough.
It's like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, I have that feeling when I fucking played what is it, Dead Rising? No, not Dead Rising. What's the Dead Island?
The trailer, yeah.
Dead Island, when he fucking throws a little kid out of the fucking window that's biting him, and it's his own child.
Yeah, no, I'd have whipped that fucker.
No, but as a parent, I'm like, holy shit, my kid's gonna bite me. And
it's weird.
As a survivalist, he's getting punted.
For people watching who don't know, I'm a dad of a 2-year-old, and before I had kids, I would have made fun of Alex for having these emotions for weird shit. But now as a dad, you're just like, I don't want to see that, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like,
I feel that way about dogs. I had to kill a dog today in Red Dead, and I wasn't too happy about it. I was like, God damn it.
I'm glad you finished that with in Red Dead, because I didn't know where that was going.
I know, because I was like, what the fuck? Where
Actually,
the fuck
on the streets of the south side of Chicago, I was just trying to get milk, and a pack of strays came a-chasing. I had no choice but to open fire into the pack.
All I wanted was my red stapler.
Weird dad emotions.
All I wanted was some milk and a pack of cigarettes. Goddamn dogs chased me 6 blocks till I opened fire. I tried to run, but I've got stumpy legs. It's true. I would like to say any like especially important points. I mean, but the problem is with this, within these 4, you really, and once again, Dumbledore 2.0 is really the first time you get to see Dumbledore in more of a goofy yet more serious than ever.
Yeah.
Dumbledore 6.7.
I do have a question about this. Harry gets his invitation at 11 years old. He goes to Hogwarts. He doesn't need any kind of parental permission to go there. But he needs a parental fucking signature to go to fucking Hogsmeade.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Not only that, but like, isn't it cruel to like force the kid to live? Like, why weren't they like, we've got a room for you, you can just stay here if you like? Why are you forcing the kid to live with his piece of shit family?
Correct.
Like, every year it's like, we know your situation's bad, Harry. We're sorry. And he's like, yeah, it's not so bad. And Dumbledore's literally Harry's like, yeah, it's terrible. And Dumbledore's already walking away. It's just like, what the fuck?
When we were going through the movies, I thought about the same thing, Matt. And I was trying to explain this to my wife, but she didn't watch Lord of the Rings. I think it alludes to the same reason in Lord of the Rings when Gandalf realized that the ring was in what's his face's possession. And he's like, well, you take it. He's like, nah, fuck that, dude. I'm out. I'm closing the door. I'm walking away. I don't want nothing to do with that.
There is the aspect, and this is going into the other ones a little bit, of Dumbledore the whole time is like, we're gonna have to kill this motherfucker at some point.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Yeah.
Fuck Dumbledore.
And we won't. Don't talk more about it. But that is a true thought. Like, you don't know that until it happens. But realistically, the whole time he's like, don't want to really know you because I'm gonna kill you. You know, like,
just like that too.
Yeah,
touching him on the nose.
Boop, I booped you. Next time's gonna be with my wand of death. My Dumbledore, why does your wand smell? Never mind. I've got Dumbledore shit to do. Dumbledore's just a piece of shit the whole time. Like, that's, I mean, and we'll get into it in the next episode, but he kind of is. In some ways,
he knows, but he doesn't know. It's infuriating in that point, where like these first 4 episodes or movies where he knows what's going on, but he doesn't know. But he like alludes to like he's kind of got an idea.
I don't know. Does the Fantastic Beast, the second movie, explain any more of his lore besides his sexuality? I've heard a lot of bad things. Like, it's just kind of like whatever.
They're not terrible movies. I mean, they're
No, I've seen the first one, but specifically, people are not liking the second one. They're calling it kind of hollow.
Well, now they're gonna have to kick out Ezra Miller on whatever future ones they do.
Oh God,
weirdo.
Him and Amber Heard should get into a relationship and go fucking die on a yacht.
Yeah, they get smear it all over each other. So Shay, my wife, disagrees with me, but I keep telling her that in our lifetimes, they are gonna remake this series. They've ousted J.K. Rowling, but Warner Brothers owns the rights to make more movies.
Hold on. The public has ousted J.K. Rowling.
Well, no, Warner Brothers has too.
For now. Because the first movie they release, if it doesn't do well and she's not involved, they will be knocking at her door for millions.
Well, no, Fantastic Beasts has already stripped off her name. Like
and look how piss poorly the second one did.
Her name is on the film, but in certain spots it's so tiny.
I mean, whether it's backlash, whether the movie itself wasn't good, whether it wasn't as good as it should have been because she wasn't involved, it didn't do well.
No, I honestly don't. From what I know,
but if she keeps tweeting and shit, it's never gonna go away.
Yeah, from what I know of most of the people I know that have read Harry Potter, that chick is dead to them.
I mean, I don't, I guess we don't need to go too deep into it, but I mean, frankly, like the way I look at it is she's just got a pro woman stance. She's sternly pro woman. And like, I mean, I guess, well, also, why is anybody defending anybody who's got fuck you money to the point where they can trash their career?
Yeah.
Like, she's got to have millions from everything. Books, the movies, co-produce, executive. So it's like, she knows that, like, they can cancel the shit out of her, and she doesn't need to work another day in her life.
She can survive on just her fucking, what do you call it, interest of whatever she has in the bank.
Well, on royalties and whatever's coming through.
Yeah.
So you guys gonna touch on the suggestion that wizards don't need a wand if they are skilled enough? The wand is simply a focus or a spell or a catalyst.
That does happen in a couple of episodes.
It's another thing that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, but isn't that in the later half?
No, they actually did it a couple times during this. Snape is doing the whole chanting.
Yeah.
In what is it, the first or second movie?
First.
The first
end of the first one. Yeah.
What's his name? Lupin says mischief managed, and you're supposed to tap the map, and he doesn't even tap the map. He just points at it.
Does the wand maker use a wand when he identifies
a lavender?
I don't know if he does. No. When he pulls out the last one, that's the brother to Voldemort.
No,
I don't think he does he? But he still does magic.
No, he still does magic.
No, I mean, they don't blatantly say it, but I'm pretty sure the wand is a tool to use certain magic. I think the older they get...
It's like a dowsing rod.
Yeah, it's like a dowsing rod. This is why I didn't read these books as a kid, though, because...
I was just too fucking stupid!
I don't like the flip-flop...
You wouldn't understand it.
Magic flimsy bullshit. I was too much into Stephen King.
I was reading American Psycho and... Cormac McCarthy novels, which is just instant depression. It's like Quaker Instant Depression. That's what Cormac McCarthy novels are.
I just recently got my 10-year-old into
crack cocaine.
Clive Barker's Aberrat.
Clive Barker.
And it's a thing that's written by him, and he does all the artwork that's inside of it. And
he's a little weird,
though.
No,
3 books. Clive Barker.
Oh, you should
he's
give
fucking
her
weird.
Books of Blood.
He is. Which one?
Books of Blood.
I know, I've done that myself.
What about Clive Barker's Undying?
But I got her reading the first 2 books, and she's gonna get into the 3rd book. Hopefully,
when are we getting the Spawn reboot?
It would have to be rated R, and it's not
Todd McFarlane has been quote unquote working on one, which means that no one's wanting to.
Yeah, every update I see is like, we can still get this movie made, guys. And it's like, do you not, like, nobody's funding you is what you're saying. Like, you have an idea and shit, but nobody's put money to it. Okay, so there isn't a movie. Never mind. Move on. Where's Clive Barker?
Well, he also wants to direct it, and Todd McFarlane should not be directing it.
No, he should not. Who should?
He's good at making toys, isn't he?
Sam Raimi. Spawn. I don't know how Sam Raimi would do a Spawn though.
Knowing today's climate, it'd probably be PG-13.
I mean, as long as they didn't turn it into an anti-white movie, I'd say the director of Candyman. I think they do an alright job with Spawn. The atmosphere,
What's his name?
at least. Her name.
It's a lady.
Okay.
Well, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This guy produced it.
Would Jordan Peele do a good Spawn?
Yeah,
I
he
don't
produced
know.
it.
I don't feel his movies have been all that edgy, so it's hard to envision.
Yeah, Spawn needs to be a rated R, edgy.
During the Quidditch match,
movie.
Snape is chanting, but Quill is simply staring at Harry's broom.
Yeah.
There he was, staring at Harry's broom. Harry stood there in the doorway. He looked him in the eye and say, "You like what you see, Quill?" And scene. There are a few others, but I can't think of them right now. Yeah, I kind of didn't put much thought into those things, to be honest with you. Maybe it's because I'm not. It was, it's like my first time watching a lot of them.
Because you're not a loser.
I was just kind of like, all right.
These movies do have a lot of weird plot holes.
I mean, I guess the idea behind the wand is it harnesses your power. So, like, you have the magic ability,
or it gives you more confidence in your power.
Well, the bigger your wand, the more confidence you'll have.
The magic.
The bigger the wand, the more confidence you have.
Look at Dumbledore. That dude was confident as shit. His wand, anal.
But that was his beard. That was his beard that was big.
As far as you know.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbledore won. Huge rod. That's why he didn't move much, because he was always almost tipping over because of the weight in the front.
Dumbledore 2, giant balls.
Yeah, Dumbledore 2.
Tiny rod.
Loved the jazz cabbage. He was basically Gandalf. Sorry, Harry. I was just in my chambers smoking a bowl. What can I help you with? Maybe I could join the podcast. I could put some real conversation pointers and help out. Not right now. We're not doing any more. We got us 4. If one of us quits or something, we get into a show-ending fight.
Sir, you came to the wrong podcast.
I hope you weren't looking for depth.
To be honest, this episode it's 4 movies in one review. We don't typically. Usually we do 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, for this thing, it's like you don't want to do fucking an entire month of Harry Potter. As much as I like them, like if you did the first 2 movies, how long would the conversation be?
If you broke it down,
I think those are
if you broke it down,
you would. Yeah, but then you would literally have to be like, well, then this happens, then this happens, and this happens, and it's like
segment by segment. Yeah,
which isn't a review; it's you fucking telecasting what happens in the movie. And
yeah.
With that said, RoboCop's better. 12 hours. Yeah, we'll just do one long episode. 12 hours long.
Which RoboCop is better?
The first.
Okay.
The remake. Yeah, no, it's all about the remake.
So here,
Giovanni's about to shit himself there. He's like,
since there are remakes and this series will most likely be remade. I don't want to go through a bunch of names, but who do you think, if they remade these movies, could play at least Harry Potter and Voldemort?
Are we starting at child's age? Because that's a whole new level of fucking if I know.
No, we'll say in his later years. Like, who would be a good Harry Potter and Voldemort play? I don't want to do the whole fucking cast.
So we're talking Deathly Hallows, Harry?
Yeah, I'd say an older Harry, so to where it could be like a darker movie. Hear me out. Danny DeVito plays both roles. No,
rum ham. He's just trying to save the rum ham the whole time.
Anyways, I start blasting.
Yeah, see, there I was. I actually have. You guys listen to the Always Sunny podcast at all?
No, I need to.
I started listening to it.
It's pretty entertaining.
It is.
I don't know who would be. I mean, a Dumbledore or not Dumbledore. Voldemort. I don't know. I mean, I didn't even really think. I mean, Ralph Fiennes is okay.
Can you think of Liam Neeson playing a bad guy?
If Daniel Radcliffe was free, I'd love to try to date him with a heartbeat. All right, Wolf. Well, thank you for saying hello. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I would date Daniel Radcliffe. He's a hunk of
honestly,
5'6".
If this movie was being remade today, and they were doing the later, darker version, it would be what's his face who played Spider-Man, who would probably cast as
Tom Holland.
Yeah, probably.
Problem is, Tom Holland is at this point, he is 25.
I know,
But he's still young looking.
Also,
He's
I
still
do
young
like Tom
looking.
Holland, but Tom Holland is also at this point just playing Tom Holland in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He doesn't have range.
He's going the
Yeah,
Ryan.
he
He's going the
doesn't.
Ryan
Not at the
Reynolds
moment, no.
direction.
Which will work for him because he's a handsome lad.
Right.
Like he doesn't.
Who would you cast as Snape?
That's a hard one.
And hear me out for Dumbledore. Hear me out. Robert Downey Jr. No?
Okay. I mean, well, no. So if you're going in line with the second Dumbledore, where he's a bit more lively, Robert Downey would
Take
probably
care,
be a
Wolf.
good choice.
Tobey Maguire best Spider-Man? I'd have to agree.
I could see Robert Downey Jr. as Sirius Black, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could see that Nicolas Cage
I could
is
see
Snape,
him.
yo.
Really?
That would actually be
Now,
very
is it
cool.
Nicolas
I know-
Cage as
I know-
Nicolas Cage as Snape?
know
Nicolas
he
Cage
was
is
in-
always Nicolas Cage.
I know he was in the original series, but Gary Oldman would make a good Dumbledore.
Yeah, I would agree.
That's true.
Jeremy
That's true.
Clarkson from Top Gear. All right, get
Oh,
into
I
shit.
would love that.
Speed when he's watching the Quidditch match. A little bit of poo came out. I don't,
Now,
I mean,
is this going to be Americanized remake, or is this going to be like just all?
that is
British
the
still?
that is the other question. I don't
Ratchet,
know.
we're gonna go all Hispanics. So all Hispanics. are
Oh fuck!
It's gonna be
Now
the
Leguizamo's got to be in there somewhere.
it's gonna be the
He's gotta
POC.
be in there.
Leguizamo is Hagrid.
He's really small handed instead of big.
Clown not
I just
light.
wanted this fucking dragon, man. I just wanted this fucking dragon.
Pistario. Oh god, all Hispanic Harry Potter. All I know is that dude from End of Watch needs to be in it somewhere. His partner?
He does. Yeah.
He needs to be in
There's
it
also-
somewhere.
There's also the guy that plays Miguel in a bunch of movies. He's in Fast and Furious. He's the bald dude. He looks like your standard cholo. He's gonna be Ron
He would be
Weasley.
Snape. He would
Or,
be
yeah,
Snape.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to honestly cast who, because like I'm trying to think of like young. I mean, you have like people like Timothy Chalamet. You've got the Tom Hollands, but like, is there a huge market of 18 to 22 right now that could take that role? And I don't.
So
maybe I'm not
that-
in tune with it enough, but I don't think there is.
That Project Adam movie with Ryan Reynolds, the
Okay.
kid who plays the young kid. I think he can actually progress into an acting role.
What's the kid from Iron Man 3 doing?
Oh fuck! Which one was that one?
Living
The one-
on royalty check.
Nothing.
The
I
one
think
who
he
helps
just
him
lives.
build the robot.
Oh shit! Yeah.
He'd be all right, I think. He's kind of a
Okay.
wise ass.
The thing is, when they do remake these movies, and I know they will, I think it's gonna be more of a widely mixed cast. I don't think it's gonna be
Not
Yeah,
all
Brits.
fucking one accent and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to
American
be called Harry Potter. Everybody's
It's gonna be
choice matters.
Americanized.
Like, that's
Americanized.
what it's going to be.
Harry Potter. We're all equal.
Yeah,
And is
Harry
it
Potter.
Ameri-
The Equal Chronicles.
Harry Potter, United Nations.
American Harry Potter. He's clinically obese. Hold on, guys. I can't run very far.
Ron has Down syndrome.
so. He's just Ron Weasley essentially.
I don't know what's worse. Matt just totally laughed at that.
Yeah, it's
every-
gonna be worse because some kids like you must be a Weasley and he's drooling on himself.
Every scene together, Harry's like, he's my best friend. And everybody, oh, that's so nice of you.
Oh.
Hermione still gets with him.
Gosh.
Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Down syndrome. It's like mild Asperger's, which is Ron Weasley. Neville's just an alcoholic and a full fucking beard. Dude, aren't you 30?
It's
Yeah, what's
Dennis
your fucking
Leary.
point?
No,
God.
Dennis Leary.
All I want to do is go down to fucking Hogwarts and go to fucking school and learn how then the shit's blowing up and I got a fucking evil guy. Calm down, Neville, please.
Somebody doing the Crucial curse on my parents. Yeah.
All I want to do is Spectro Patronum, get some whiskey, get a burger.
It's just a bunch of younger kids and a grown ass Dennis Leary sitting.
All right, Dennis Leary is Dumbledore.
Oh my god.
You're gonna sit down. We're gonna put the fucking hat on you. You're gonna get into a fucking team, okay? Just
And he
losing
has
his
no
shit.
fucking nose. Dennis Leary with no nose.
Dennis Leary would not be a good Dumbledore, by the way. Just like a fake blonde Irish beard. Like, what the fuck is going on here? All right. Anything important? We're gonna wrap this up soon. Anything important to say about the first four we haven't covered?
For me, it's just it starts out, kitty movie in the first one.
Kitty
Second
bang,
one, it progresses. Third and fourth, it gets it gets a lot more darker, and Harry is just he's still not understanding what the fuck this magic is. He doesn't fucking get it up until he sees Cedric die. So I think from here it's gonna be, well, I already know, but it's just gonna be like a whole different world for him. Moving in there, he's gonna be like, holy fuck, what the fuck am I in?
Yeah.
I would argue that by number 3, he's understanding the magic. I would say when Cedric dies,
he's not understanding the severity of how things.
Well,
happen.
he doesn't get his role in it yet.
Yeah,
I think when Cedric dies,
blind
it's like a fucking.
It's like a big ass wake up
earth
call.
shattering,
yeah.
Shit, this is fucking for real.
Like, oh, we can die in this?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He has the chosen one complex of
because he also saw baby fucking Voldemort thrown in a pot of fucking water. Which we didn't talk about that. The baby Voldemort.
That was creepy. Was do it now. Tosses him in.
He just drops him in there. Chop off your hand,
shit, dude.
I was trying to think of the movie where he tosses the goo in the water and it takes it over. Can't think of what movie that is. It's where the whatever it was had like a face. Oh, Nutty Professor 2.
Oh.
When he's losing his intelligence and Eddie Murphy, it's the little bit of like whatever it goes into the fountain. Anyways,
I don't know why I was thinking of Flubber.
If they,
I get that. I thought that at first too.
I thought of Flubber, and I randomly thought of this idea. If there was a remake, it would have been really cool to see an older Robin Williams as like one of the teachers there.
Dumbledore, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Robin Williams would have been a great Dumbledore.
Alive, yeah.
I mean, I think
Dumbledore still was comedic, but he just his.
Dumbledore 2.0 was.
Yeah, 2.0. Not the
2.0.
dick wearing.
Not the white power hood wearing first one. He looks like the type that burns crosses on a summertime fun.
Probably a sweetheart, and we're just making fun of him.
I know, we're just ripping up.
He's probably the type of guy that handed out delicious candies to the children during filming. Some shit like that. From a white
van.
Alex is a pedophile.
Yeah, he hand out candies.
We're
to
talking
the
about
POC
Dumbledore here.
Kids, just the.
I don't think production would let Dumbledore, instead of having a trailer, have a white van on set. Just, park your white van on the lot. We're good.
He's like, but this is my home.
You don't understand. I have to clean my toilet.
This is where I live.
I've got to empty my toilet bags.
Harry Potter, come here.
Harry, can I have a wet nap?
Come closer.
He did see every fucking thing he said. He was like, "You're gonna die, right?" Yeah, you shouldn't have smoked for 40 years, hey, Dumbledore.
It's like growing up, like at Thanksgiving. There's always like that old uncle who you're just like, you're not gonna be here next year, are you?
Oh God, I saw this video of this woman, and it's like it's her 95th birthday, yay! And they're all cheering, and she blows out the candles, and she's like, "May it be my last one," and goes to eat her piece of. It's like she knows what she wants. Let's wrap this up. Stars, final thoughts, Giovanni.
These movies, I love these movies. They're 5. All of them are 5s. I have no non-5s. But in terms of the pace,
you're a 5.
Energy, I am a 5 plus 5 more.
Confident, are we?
In terms of the pace and the energy, I look at it as a bell curve. Definitely the first and last, I feel, were the weakest of the movies. And yeah, the middle of these really just takes the cake.
Well, I guess you don't need to be here next time, huh?
Nope.
Nope. All right, we'll see you next time.
So we're hitting the peak of the bell curve between Goblet of Fire and in the next one, Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, I think the middle 3, like I said over their attacks, are probably the best of them, and then you have that up ramp, and then you've got that down slope going into. I mean, the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 they're good, but
yeah, they're not bad.
It feels like something's missing from them.
There's the weird fucking song scene of them like.
Where they're dancing?
Yeah.
Fucking weird.
It's very cultish.
Yeah.
I guess that's the real looking witchcraft, huh? All right, you're good. You're 5 on all.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
I'll go next. It's also weird to rate these.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is.
Kind of like
should we not do that? I mean,
Yeah, I was thinking that we weren't going to rate them. We were just going to talk about them and
Okay.
say
Well,
whether
okay, how about this? How about this?
We'll rate
whether or
the
not we
franchise.
enjoyed
Of
them
the
as
four
a.
of the four we're reviewing right now, which
Okay.
is your favorite of the four, Giovanni?
note, Giovanni, what he said earlier be stricken from the record.
Okay.
Which is your favorite? Which is your least favorite?
So number one is actually my least favorite.
Okay.
Number Goblet of Fire is actually my favorite.
Samesies.
Yeah.
See, I think for me, one is the weakest as well. I really like Prisoner of Azkaban. I feel like that's where like you get slapped with the darkness and it continues on. That's my favorite.
For me, one would be the weak one right now, and Prisoner of Azkaban is the strongest out of them because
Fuck you guys.
Similar to what Anthony says, it sets a tone for what's to come. it sets a tone what's to come for Harry, because he's just
what is going to come
realize,
for you, Harry?
He's just starting to realize what the fuck's gonna happen.
Harry, I'm going to come for you. Harry, I cannot reach it.
Dumbledore step out of
Harry, have you seen my World War II memorabilia? Harry. Anyways, I'm sorry.
Alex, I have a question for you because you watched all these movies with your girls and they watched them a bunch of time.
Right.
Which was the movie where they like watched and they're like, this is kind of scary? Was it Prisoner of Azkaban or one of the later ones?
And by the way, we're not talking about his daughters. Alex is a polygamist.
For my eldest, it was Prisoner.
Prisoner, okay.
And then for my youngest right now, she was kind of like asking more questions during the new one, Goblet of Fire.
Tim, I don't know if it was caught on camera, but Matt, you really made me spit. I'm
sorry. I knew. So I looked at your camera and I knew you and I heard the same thing he said in the same immature way. And I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
The series is easy to make fun of. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, anything when you're like, the problem is anything that goes from like the same actors where they're young kids to full-grown adults that have like pubic hair. It's gonna get a little fucking weird and memey no matter what you do. So yours is the first one's weakest. Prisoner of Azkaban as well.
And the third.
So Giovanni and I.
The third is when it goes.
Giovanni and I are the same. You two are the same. We're clearly the ones who are right.
50-50 chance of you being right, but
yeah, fight me. We'll settle this the old-fashioned way.
I'll be right there.
Just beating the shit out of each other, and it's like
his camera goes off, and he shows up behind you and clocks you in the
just in an alleyway beating the shit out of each other, and the cops are like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And he's like, "He said Goblet of Fire is better," and just fucking uppercuts. Oh, yeah. What an ugly thing to argue about. They're all good.
Man, I gotta clean.
They are all good. Now. They are all good.
Lewis just starts like sparks and shit start flying.
Dump it upside down.
It's fucking Chernobyl in there all of a sudden.
I think I like the later ones because the lore really. I'm a lore buff, so I love when lore really hits hard.
Also, I mean, Goblet of Azkaban and beyond is where any sort of depth actually comes into the movies.
That's true.
And like, even Azkaban and Goblet of Fire bring more depth and more seriousness. When you get to that second half or the final four, it's a different tone. It's a level of like, it was like, basically the first four are like, Harry, this is going to be dangerous. You could get hurt. And the last four are like, we're going to fucking die at any second. I don't know what to do. Like, that's the last four.
Well, it's like I said, at the end of this movie, at the end of the fourth movie, Hermione says everything's going to change from this point on. And it does. It does moving forward.
Well, the fucking thing too is like none of them asked for that. Harry is the cat. Harry's like
he's the death bringer.
Yeah.
He's like, hey guys, by the way, like how like the school was all been blown up and everything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Even in the later episodes where they do, or the later movies where they do the pan shots on Harry and he's like, what the fuck have I done? Like,
I will.
look at his
I will
face,
say
like,
each
God
each
damn.
movie technically is about the same length as a British season, so you could call them
Yeah.
episodes.
Okay.
Also, something that hasn't been talked about is this Harry Potter's Prisoner of Azkaban was directed by the director of Itu Mamata Bien.
What the
Really?
fuck is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Really, it's a
Yeah,
half.
so
It's a half a porno movie.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
It's a Spanish movie that there's a lot of sex in it.
yes, a lot.
It was like it's a legit. It's a porno movie. Just covered.
I got tired of watching people fuck, so now I do a kids movie.
Sorry guys, I'm still chuckling at the keyboard thing because we had a keyboard before this,
Oh no!
and my wife used it for work a lot. And the one day I spilt an energy drink all over.
It just dissolved it immediately. Fucking
No,
taurine.
all of the keys were crusty, and like you'd push them down, they wouldn't come back up. And she was using the one, and she's like, "What the fuck happened? Did you do anything?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I think it just stopped working."
Damn kid of
You
ours.
never even fessed up to it.
No,
Matt didn't record it, but we were setting up to record Rescue Us, and I took a sip of coffee and I choked, and then I spit like the whole coffee at the camera at the
To the
laptop.
point where I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, because it came at me. It was just him. I think it was just him, or maybe you, Jen, and I were in the chat at that point.
Yeah.
And it literally, like, you know the movies where like shit blows up and then the water goes right into the camera.
it's like
That's
the
what
scene
it
in
fucking
Paranormal
was.
Activity where he flies at the camera.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I'm sitting here and I see it like in my periph, and I was like, "Oh fuck, what the fuck?" And he's like, "Did you just see that?" And then of course you also have instances where you almost knock over your entire fucking table and everything. Like we've seen that where like you see this, and then like literally his camera is shaking back and forth. All right, guys. So yeah, Giovanni and I are right. You guys are wrong.
Keep saying that.
I will see you guys Monday. Maybe Monday. Mondays are my potentially off days. Depends on how I feel. Depends who's available for what. We will see you guys at the minimum Tuesday, but maybe Monday for something. We'll figure it out. And then we're going to take next week off of the podcast. There still will be a Friday stream. I'm actually hoping to stream the Evil Dead game, which releases on my birthday,
that's
Friday
right,
the
that's
13th.
right.
So hopefully next Friday, well, there won't be a podcast. Hopefully I'll be doing a later at night, probably like 6, 7, whatever o'clock stream of that, because it comes out that day and I am dying to check that one out.
Also, you could join the Discord right now.
Yeah, join the Discord. Let's see, I had one in there earlier. Let me just throw one in there right now. If you are cool, we do hang out in the Discord. You're not. We do hang out in the Discord after hours. To chit chat, bullshit, get drunk, hang out, have fun. So, join. Come say hi. With that said, I knocked my apple pie over. What
the fuck was that?
Knocked my iPad over.
You had a bite in.
Oh, I knocked my iPad over. I thought I knocked my iPad over.
Goddamn corn pop knocked my iPad over.
It would be funny if the
Do you
stream
wanna-
just ended right there.
Knocked my iPad over.
You want to rate Damsel?
Is she going? Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
God.
got a Phasmo going.
I gotta change my
everybody's-
backgrounds.
Everybody's loving the fizz. Loving the fizz.
Shay went to use.
Thank
Zoom
you,
and
Vet.
his background popped up on her, and she got mad at me.
You're amazing, Vet. I just gotta get my fucking thingy up here so I can start the evade.
Pat, join the Discord.
Yeah, Sean, we'll be hanging out in there. I gotta go see if Jen wants to join. I know she was taking a little bit of a siesta.
Oop.
No, she was asleep. Oh.
She's been taking a shit this whole episode.
You can hear it in the background.
There's a redeem for cowboy hat next week. What's that?
Did she make that?
I don't know. Vet was saying just wait next week when I redeem for a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I'm getting pressurized to put, because everybody, for some reason, I don't know why,
He's gonna bring it out.
but they love the cowboy hat. And frankly, it's a bitch to wear with headphones, but they they do enjoy it, so I think I'm going to be forced into making
A little thing for it. I got you.
yeah, an
You
alert
can wear it
or...
while playing House of the Dead because you just fucking shoot.
Pew, maybe that's what I'll do Monday, is I'll do the House of the, because I didn't get to do it this week. Problem is the game's only like a half hour long.
Yeah, it's all right.
So like I'll probably do that in Rambo. All right, let's raid Damsel. Love you guys.
There we go.
We will see you next time. What is Red
Thanks,
saying?
Bye.
Oh, she's okay. Jen's awake. Okay, she hasn't said anything in my chat. Fucking bitch. All right.
Good wife, you got.